Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and I just wanted to make a quick announcement on a cool new feature that Hearthstone has implemented. So this is all about what you can now search as far as your collection of cards in Hearthstone. So if you're not to the point where you have a ton of cards, or you need to really start searching with some more detailed, then this probably isn't going to be the video for you. But for most people, as they keep adding more cards, they have added new tags you can search. So you can type in, as you see down in the middle lower section of the screen, you can type in the phrase attack colon and then any number. So if you wanted something with attack 0, it will now filter to attack 0. If you want something with attack 12, it'll give you the one card that gives you attack 12. That's the first keyword. Second one you can type in is health, colon, any number. If you type in health 0, nothing will come up because no card can have health 0. But if you typed in, say, health 7, and put a colon in it, unlike me, something will come up. All the cards that have 7 health. So this is very helpful. Also, you can type in, for the example, health 7, and then put a plus, and that will include everything with a more than 7 also. So next thing you can type in is mana. So if you wanted, say, something that only cost 5 mana, that works. But you can also use the plus, and you can also use the minus. So now it will include everything that cost less than 5 mana. Although, when I'm looking here at the neutral cards that cost less than 5, it has put me several pages ahead. So I have to go backwards to see the ones that cost 3 and 2 and 1 and 0. So just keep that in mind. It does not seem like that's going to move you to the place you would expect to be. By default, if you click somewhere, you would have seen the zeros first, and when you go back to neutral, you go back to that. So that's good to know. You can also define a range. For example, attack 3 minus 5, but in this case it translates the minus into a dash, and that will tell you and list everything that has a 3 attack, a 4 attack, or a 5 attack. So you can do a range there. You can also, for your help, type in something like attack 4 and then space health colon 4, and that gives you nothing because I misspelled health. This is a somewhat difficult video to make right now because I'm having to follow a script that just to make sure I type in the right things and don't leave anything else. So you can stack them, so attack 4, health 4, and now we've got all the things with 4/4 and only that. So if for some reason you couldn't remember the specific card, or you wanted to compare specific cards, all the 4/4 cards, that now is a possibility, whereas before you would have to do a lot of searching and a lot of going back. So that's the attack, mana, and health tags. There are several others. You can type in owned and then :1 to see all the cards you only have one of. So if you had already collected one of every card, you could potentially start working on crafting cards that you would like a second one. For instance, here it only cost me 40 dust to make a second card for this, since most cards allow you to have 2. Remember, legendary cards, however, only allow you to have 1, so you could potentially do that. But you really don't have to, because you could just type in legendary, and I believe that will just immediately show you all the legendary cards too. So that's another tag. You could also, uh, on the owned, you can go the other way. Instead of typing in owned 0 and be in crafting mode so you'd actually see this, this doesn't work. So instead of typing in owned 0, you type in missing and be in crafting mode. So here's all the cards you don't have, which will certainly be helpful for people who are still trying to build up their collection. But again, owned 0, let's test this. Oh, owned 0 does work when you're in crafting mode. But you have to be in crafting mode because otherwise it won't show you cards you don't have. You can type in extra, and that will show cards that you have more than you actually need. So I could go here and disenchant this Acolyte of Pain for 5 dust. And we'll just go ahead and do that. And now I don't have extra. So again, if I typed extra, it shouldn't bring it up, but it is for some reason. EXTRA. You may have to just double type it. Interesting. Interesting that the game still has some bugs in it. I've always said Hearthstone lately has been adding some things that just don't quite work the way they should. The next tag you could search is golden, and let me tell you, in golden I have a lot of default golden things that are uncraftable, but I don't have any others really, because I disenchant all my golden cards. Now there is something about the golden cards that we should mention here when you type in golden. You can narrow it down by typing golden and say epic, and then that will tell me I have no golden epics. But you could also just say epic, and then this only is epic cards. See, purple gem, epic. We also have rare as a thing, that's blue gems. We have common cards, that's white gems, or basic cards are included in common. So you have rare, epic, and then you have legendary cards, which are the orange. So those can be combined too. But there is something I did want to mention about typing in the word golden. Here. When we look at Elias Starseeker here, in her description it says, shuffle the map to the golden monkey in your deck. Because now golden is a key phrase, that card is not going to come up unless you have a golden version of Elias Starseeker. So any key phrases here. So if you tried to search epic for people that might say epic here, that's not going to work. And then that also brings an interesting question: if they ever made cards that would say all your epic cards get +1/+1, you wouldn't be able to search for those, anything like that. You have the phrase new, which will show you your new cards. So that was my last new card. As soon as I hovered over it, it's gone. You can type things like extra rare too. So if you just wanted to see all the extra rares we have here, like here's one I can disenchant in gold and get that sweet amount of dust. I'm almost up to 400. So for me, since I want to get rid of all of this, an extra golden might search for something, but it's not going to return anything for me. So that's helpful. And then the last thing that is kind of useful is here you get the artist name of whoever made this art. So if you were going to just see, I want to see the art made by somebody named Alex. It seems to just be the first name, but maybe if you didn't put a space in it, you could get them all. So we have Alex Hurley Oakland made this one, and then he made that one, and then he made this one. So is there only one Alex that made this card? Have made cards? No, because there's also Doug Alexander. So that's an interesting way it works. But if you wanted to somewhat narrow it down and see your favorite artists there, that's great news. Also remember, if you type in something like mana colon 5, but then you click here to the 4 mana filter, you're not gonna see anything. So you have to remember that. You'd have to be on the 5 mana filter. If you click on the 6 mana filter, same thing. If you want it just off, click it again. Oddly, no way to search for everything in a specific category, but it would be kind of redundant because you can just do this with no search parameter to see all the League of Explorers, Grand Tournament things, all of that. So we'll go ahead and disenchant my other extra cards while we're here. So that's the new search terms. As Whisper of the Old Gods comes about, more and more cards are going to get added to the game, and that these search terms are certainly going to be helpful, and I imagine they'll think of a couple other search terms. Things, remember, that you were able to do before you can type in like mech, and then that will provide you with all the mechs if you're on all sets in the game. And you can type in things like beasts, and that will work at least here. See, here's a beast. It has no it doesn't have the word beast in any of its description or anything, but it still comes up. Whereas you might think that a card here, like, nope, there isn't even a card here. You could type in Murlocs to get Murlocs. Several categories of cards. You could type in, I don't think you can type in like priest though and just get priest cards. All you get is the couple of cards that have priest in their names. So that's something that's still not available. So try to make as best use of your of the searching ability now that you can make multiple decks now. 18 decks available to you to make, and they have the deck recipes to help you a little bit too. So that's all good. Remember, Whisper of the Old Gods can be pre-ordered. I wouldn't recommend it. For $50 you'll get 50 packs. I am going to open 50 packs using gold when it becomes available. And this is your last chance to buy Goblins vs. Gnomes, which will be banned, so it can only be used in wild play. And this is your last chance to get Curse of Nexramus, which you can either pay real money by clicking this button here, or you can click here and then click on Nexramus, click on normal, choose that, and then right about here or right here you can spend 700 gold to buy the first wing. That's all you need to buy to ensure you should be able to get the rest, but I would spend all the rest of 700 gold to get the other wings and just make sure I have all of that. Those cards too will be banned in standard play, and standard play is 2 years of expansions are going to, a rolling 2 years are going to be available and playable. So as soon as they get rid of Goblins vs. Gnomes, in about a year, Grand Tournament will be banned too, and so will Blackrock Mountain. I think Blackrock Mountain first, but I don't remember the order. So that's all stuff to keep in mind. Anywho, we are done for this announcement. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. Please give it a thumbs up, because my announcement videos do sometimes get thumbs down. I think people think that it's the official announcement or they just don't like it for some other ways. And I'd really enjoy it if I got a lot of views and a lot of thumbs up and people really said they were happy about this video. That would be nice. And then I'm going to wrap up the same way I always do. I'm going to ask you to like this video. I already did that. I'm going to ask you to share it with your friends. I need as many views as possible. I'm a relatively new YouTuber, doing it about a year, so I need more fans and more views. Subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of other videos. Some of them are Hearthstone related. A lot of them aren't Hearthstone related. I do other games too. Comment down below if you want to. Sure. I love comments as long as they're nice and positive. And then watch every second of my videos, because that tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching and that they're interesting. And then if you do all of that and you want to support me even further, you can click on my name, Rydo. That'll take you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. You can click that, make a donation. Also on my main YouTube page is a playlist tab. You can click that and see playlists for every game I've covered. There's a lot of videos there. I'm sure something will catch your eye. And then down below in the description box I have links to my social media accounts. So please friend and follow me on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Tumblr. Friend me on Steam, friend me on battle.net so I can play you here on Hearthstone. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.